Probably should have brought this back. All right. Quick video. NBA Finals taking place today. I wanted to look at the teams that are in it. Compare regular seasons and versus the playoffs. So let's do a little comparison if I can. They have scouting reports on here. I like that. All right. I wonder. I don't want to do playoffs just yet. And Dallas. I was hoping it just pop up. Okay. And Dallas. All right. Let's look at the scouting report. So let's do offense for offense, and then we'll do defense for defense. If we're looking at points per possession, both teams are tops in the league with, let's see, Boston is first, of course. Dallas is seventh. Both good offensive efficiency numbers. Both teams there. Possessions, how many possessions each teams get, really just one off. It's funny how one possession more, it does make a difference, but it takes you from 21st in the league to 13th in the league. Now, again, this is for the regular season. Effective field goal percentage, Boston number 1, Dallas is number 7. So you're seeing a trend. Both teams are pretty good offensively. Turnover percentage, Boston second in the league at 10%, and Dallas is 6th at a little closer to 11. Free throw percentage, Dallas gets to the line more. That's a little surprising. Well, actually, no, it's not, because Celtics shoot a lot of threes. All right, and score percentage. I would have to actually look up to see what score percentage is. Let me see. 2-point field goals percentage. Oh, okay. It's probably just how many times people are up. Okay. Now, let's do this. Let's go to defensive metrics, because this might be the telling point in the series. So, in the regular season, Boston was third. I'm going to say at .985, just points per possession. Dallas is 16th, allowing a little over 1 point per possession. Possessions, again, 13th for Boston on the defense end. We're looking on defense now. Dallas at 112. Field goal percentage, Boston holds people to 52%, 54%. It's not that big of a difference, to be honest. But when you start looking at Dallas allows more possessions, and it's probably because of turnovers. Dallas allows more turnover, gets more turnovers on defense actually, than Boston. That's interesting. Free throw percentage, Boston does not foul that often in the regular season. Now we're going to compare playoffs here in a second, but in the regular season we're looking, they don't foul as much. Dallas still near the top 10 in the league at that too. And score percentage, I'm assuming, because it's like a field goal percentage, because if that is the case, no, 43%, that seems really good, because this is effective field goal percentage. Score percentage, I don't think that's field goal percentage. But obviously Boston is leading in a lot of these categories. When you looking at this report, I want to say heat check is just, this is just regular season. Okay. Tempo actually is similar to what we just looked at. You will see, we're looking at defense. Let's go to offense for both. Dallas has more possessions, but Boston scores more, but Dallas is right there with them. Honestly, offensively, these teams are even, honestly, when you're looking at the stats. Defensively, Boston leads a little bit in more categories. Now, that is where Porzingis in the regular season, so we do need to see. Why am I having such trouble finding them? There we go. Now, let's look at the playoffs, because teams are different in the playoffs, obviously. And I don't know why I have such trouble finding this. Okay. So, in the playoffs, Boston 12-2 right now. Mavericks 12-5. Of course, you needed 12 wins to get to the finals anyway. Makes sense. All right. As far as possessions offensively, Boston's still number one in the league. I'll say 1.07. Seventh, I want to say that's pretty similar. Possessions. Dallas has more possessions. They've increased that in the playoffs, actually. So has Boston. But they've increased that. Field goal percentage, effective field goal percentage. Pretty much, not even, but Boston's second in the playoffs. Dallas is third. Again, this is offensively. Turnover percentage. That is Dallas. Dallas struggles sometimes with that. Boston has some, but I would say 9.8 a game, especially when you have 103 possessions. That's right around 10. This will probably be around 11 or 12, if I take a guess. Free throw. They get to the free throw line more. I wish I could click on it, but I can't right now. And score percentage. This has to be field goal percentage because it's 47%, which is high, I feel like, to 46, but it's still high for both. Now, defensively, I'm interested to see. Ooh, Dallas defensively is actually better than Boston in the playoffs. Now, Boston does hold their opponents to lesser possessions, but they're less than Boston in points per possession, which is interesting, even though it's 5th to 6th. But still, that's interesting to see. Effective field goal percentage, they're better than Boston again. So defensively, Dallas has been a lot better in these playoffs, as you can clearly see. Turnover percentage, basically the same, but 7th and 11th. Free throw percentage, again, Boston doesn't seem to foul that much. Now, with having Luka and Kyrie, that's going to be an interesting perspective because what they do is draw fouls. And so we'll see. And then score percent, what I believe is field goal percentage, 44 to 44.6, basically the same. So they actually match up better, I think, than people think. Because I want to say the over-under is in in Boston's favor by a good, well, not a good bit, but the bettors have Boston winning. But it looks like it's going to be a closer series than what people are thinking. Let's see if we can go to teams. I know we're in the playoffs. Let me see if it'll break it down. Okay. I want to see if we can look. Yeah, this is actually what I'm looking for. This works perfectly. Okay. So offensively, we know they're good. Possessions, they're good. Very good in transition. Half court sets, they're good. Out of bounds plays, it looks like on the side out of bounds, they're actually bad. Last 4 seconds of shot clock, they're good. Against man, they're excellent. Zone, they're still good. Press. Offensively, Boston is tops in the league, so it's going to be a very good matchup. Defensively, they're good, according to a points per possession metric. Transition, they're average, so that might be an opportunity for Dallas. Just looking on Dallas side, in the half court, it seems like they're very good, except on the side out of bounds. For whatever reason, that's interesting. And then the last 4 seconds of the shot clock defensively, which is weird. They are poor. That's not good because that's where scorers, especially ISO guys, which Kyrie and Luka, if you've watched the first part of my vids, you see that they're very good isolation players. That's what they like to do. Doesn't look like they need to play a zone defense. They're not that good at it out of 18 possessions. Man defense, it looks like they are very good at man defense and press in the half court. But all right, let's go back offensive. Oh, we can go to player breakdown as well. I like this. Can I go to each player? Okay, so actually, let's stay here for a second because now we have more to talk about. Okay, so let's see who's been actually helping offensively. So Jason Tatum, he's been good. We all know that he hasn't been playing his best these playoffs, but he needs to turn around. Jaylen Brown's been very good. Derek White has been excellent, and I agree with that metric. You can tell he's been hitting the shots, shooting at a 47% clip. Jaylen Brown's at 54. Jaylen Brown's always, his turnovers is what's going to get him. Because you see, Derek White's turnover percentage is 4.3. Jaylen Brown's is at 11. Same thing with Drew. Jason's is okay at 9. But we come here. So you see, this what the problem is with Jason. Jason shooting 29% from 3. The team is shooting 36, which is amazing. Jalen's shooting 36, 40 percent for White, 39 for Drew, Horford. Yeah, Jason just has to get it up, and then they'll be good to go. I was interested in seeing. I was hoping free throw percentage was on here. Saying percent they get to the line, but the actual free throw number, because that's the only thing with me with Jaylen Brown that he's been struggling in these playoffs. I want to say he's been shooting in the 50s or the 60s. But the main guys, you can look at possessions clearly. Jason Tatum, he's good. He's actually looks like the worst one out of the starters, because Al Horford, Drew, Derek White, and Jaylen Brown have been very good, and Derek White's the only one that's that excellent. Peyton Pritchard has been excellent off the bench. Sam Hauser's been good. Luke Cornett's been good. Kristaps has only been good, but he hasn't even played that many possessions, to be honest. In these playoffs, so that's just all possessions. I'm not going to break all of this down. I do like the fact that I can go to each player if I want to and break that information down. That is sort of a new discovery, and I like it a lot. Now, we did the game breakdowns. Let's go defensively. We're just going to go to all possessions right now. So, defensively, which is shocking, to be honest. And now we're going to take a little bit of a deeper dive to see, because Drew has been good, Derek White's been good, Al Horford's been average, which I honestly thought was going to be worse. But Jaylen Brown's been below average, and Jason Tatum's been poor, and Pritchard has been very good. So those three right there are confusing, to say the least. Sam Hauser being average, I'm not surprised. Kristaps being very good. Cornette, okay, I'm not worried about these guys. These two, because these two are on the floor a lot. Horford, depending on how Kristaps play, is looking, depends on if Horford's going to be on the floor. Because defensively, Horford is 38, so that's probably the main problem. But this is going to be interesting. I didn't expect Jason Tatum to be poor defensively throughout the entire playoffs. That is bad. And then Jaylen Brown is below average. Why are they just getting blown by, or are people hitting shots on them? Because it's not like they're shooting great on Jaylen Brown. 34 from 3, but they're shooting 28 and 33 from other. 28, 28, 34 on Al. 41% from the field, effective field goal. That's interesting. Because turnovers, free throw, how often they get to the line, percent of a shooting foul. Derek White actually is, but this team doesn't foul that often. They're tops in the playoffs, as we saw earlier. But this was interesting. I'm interested to see, because in transition they're not that good, but it doesn't really. I guess it really doesn't count just one man, but they're very good in man defense, right? Well, you would think. So according to this, you have 3 people they can put in the pick and roll, not just. I was assuming it was just Al Horford. According to this, you want Jaylen Brown, and you don't want Jaylen Brown on you, because Jaylen Brown still, that's 40%. Is Jaylen Brown just fouling? Yeah, because I don't understand how he's below average. I'm going to have to look into that more. But Jason Tatum being poor because they're shooting 48% against him. That is terrible. 48% on three. That is pretty bad. So and calling Jason Tatum the odd man out is weird, especially on defense. That's interesting. Okay, let's see what type of sets they do. Pick and roll. It looks like they need to stay stay out the pick and roll. What are they? Defensively they're bad at the pick and roll. Oh, I forgot I was on defense. Oh, that's not good. Okay, what are they good at? They're good at when people ISO. They're good at post ups, but they're bad at the pick and roll altogether. Spot ups, transition. Why are they so bad at the pick and roll? I was not expecting that. Huh. People cut to the basket. Okay, but pick and roll is what they had to deal with. Pick and roll, spot up, and transition. And we saw they're not. That transition was the worst aspect of the Celtics, from what we just saw. Pick and roll is what Kyrie and Luca are best at. So that's not good. And spot up, I would have to look at PJ Washington, Derek Jones, because we know Kyrie's good at the spot up. I'm not sure if Luca usually has the ball, so Luca might be okay at spotting up. If I had to take a guess. Okay, can I see who is bringing everything down? These numbers now. Okay, we don't really have. They just tell me. They're telling me who's. They're telling me everybody's bad, except Peyton Pritchard, which makes no sense. I don't understand. I don't understand how Peyton Pritchard is so good at this. Yeah, Jason Tatum is bringing the defense down. I know that much. Jason, that is something I definitely did not expect. Transition. They don't do it. They don't do it enough. Isolation. So that's the thing. What Kyrie and Luka are good at. It looks like Derek White is the best. Now it's not that many possessions. Jason Tatum has been terrible defensively. I want to see if in the regular season I'm gonna pull him up separately to see if he's just been bad defensively this year because that's surprising. Post ups, not worried about that. Okay, so Celtics have a little bit more to worry about than I thought. Offensively, they're fine. Pick and roll, spot up opportunities. I can see that going really well for them anyway. Yeah, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, everybody. Yeah, yeah. Peyton Pritchard might be a surprise six man in this series. Not sure if we bring him up enough. In transition, Derek White is actually below average in transition, which is hilarious. But everybody else seems to be okay. Actually, Drew's okay, but not really good. Jason Tatum is actually that's not what he's good at. To be the worst offensive player, technically in the playoffs. Um, Payne Pritchard is on the metrics. Is like a metrics darling right now, to be honest with you. Pick and roll ball handler. Jaylen Brown does not need to do that. Jason Tatum looks like he does need to do that. Drew Holiday needs to do it. Peyton Pritchard looks like he needs to do everything. um, okay. Yeah, Jaylen Brown needs to stay out the pick and roll. No pick and rolls for Jaylen Brown. But Jason Tatum doesn't need to do any ISOs, according to this. He has 101 ISOs, 0.832 points per possession, which is bad. Jaylen Brown has been excellent. Peyton Pritchard, I don't know why, has been excellent. So Jaylen Brown probably needs to stick to the ISOs because that's what he's better at. Posting up, they probably should stay away from that, unless they get like Kristaps back. Or actually, I don't even know if Kristaps is good. He is good at it in the playoffs, and Al Horford is the dude they need to do it with. These three need to stay out of there. Jason doesn't need to post up. Not in these playoffs. He hasn't been good at it. I guess we can look at shot types real quick. To field goal attempts. Yeah. Jump shots, they've been good. Jason Tatum's probably the only one that has not, that really matters. Yeah, Jason Tatum jump shot has been bad to say the least. I'm interested. Has he been making his layups at least? Well, he's been making at the rim. He's been good. So, and that's always good to see. Who? Somebody's not up here, right? No, Derek White's right there. Yeah, at the rim, the Celtics are very good, and that is surprising. Even Peyton Pritchard. Is Peyton Pritchard on a contract here? Because he could get paid. Looking at this, I'm looking at these numbers. Let's say Peyton Pritchard. Let's take a quick dive into Peyton to see that contract. When is his last year of the deal? Oh, he's in his first year of the deal. He's not going anywhere. Yeah, they went ahead and made sure they got him. Okay. But that is okay. So that's the Celtics. Actually, let's look at them defensively because they've been good. Just looking at the field goal attempts, they've been good. Who's been below average? Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Okay, I need to look at Jason Tatum. I need to look at him defensively. I don't need the playoffs. I know he's been poor, but in the regular season he was good. So why is he so bad in these playoffs? In the playoffs, he's been terrible. They're shooting 55% against Jason Tatum in the playoffs. That is amazingly bad. 50% from three, and it's not on a small sample size at all. It's 145 possessions. I don't know what's going on, but that's going to have to change, or they will get beat. Unless they can. We need to look at Mavericks here in a second because that can't keep happening. I did not think he was going to be that bad because they're going to start attacking him, and it looks like Jaylen Brown was the other one, which surprised me because I'm over here talking to my brothers, thinking they have 4 different wings and then have a big guy in there, and I was thinking the big guy would be the issue. Right now, it's looking like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are going to be the issue. Okay, defensively, yeah, he can guard the catch and shoot. I'm not worried about that. Yeah, I need him to be able to guard his other stuff. Yeah, he's bad against the pick and roll. He's good. Jaylen Brown's good against spot ups. Jason Tatum, bad against the pick and roll, bad against spot ups, bad against ISOs. Now, these two, he hasn't really done much, but still, he's about to face some ISO guys, so I really hope he steps this up, or it'll be a Mavs in 5. Yeah, Jason Tatum's been poor. Jaylen Brown has been below average defensively. And Jason Tatum offensively in these playoffs has just been good. So if you're going to be that bad, I'm going to need you to be very good to excellent, and not only in transition. I need you to be very good to excellent in all your possessions, because that's what Jaylen Brown is providing us on offense. And that's why he won the MVP of the Eastern Conference. But that's a few things. That's a few things for the Celtics, and that's what they're gonna have. That's what they're gonna have to do to. That's what they have to definitely work on. I didn't realize defensively Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum weren't that productive in these playoffs. That's very interesting to see. Seeing how the game is in 30 minutes, we're going to get through the Mavericks as well. Yep, still in the playoffs. Okay. All right, Dallas Mavericks. So now that I know I can do player breakdown, and it'll let me see everything. Well, I just want to make sure. Well, let me look at this real quick first. Okay. Offensively, they've been good. Which in contrast to the Celtics, I believe the Celtics were. I should have kept it up. Let me switch this Brandon Ingram thing real quick. All right, let's go back. Playoffs. Celtics should pop up first. All right. Offensively, Celtics have been excellent these playoffs. Mavericks have been good these playoffs. A little concerning, but when you have those two juggernauts out there, not too bad. Transition, they've been average. Half court, very good. That's what they play most. Their side out of bounds, they actually been good. I'm not sure what's up with the Celtics. Side out of bounds. Side of bounds, offensively and defensively, they've been bad. Timeouts, last 4 seconds of the shot clock, they're good. Against man offensively, they well, you would need them to be very good. Zone, they are below average, which is surprising. We'll see here in a second. Yeah, we're gonna go. Let's go ahead and player breakdown this. Okay, all possessions. Luka has been average. That's not good. Kyrie has been good. PJ has been good. Derek Jones has been very good, actually. Gafford has been very good. Lively has been excellent, as we could tell. Josh Green, very good. So they play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because obviously they need to play Josh Green. So 7 to 6. Is it 6? Well, it might not be 7 to 6 because let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 7. There we go. And an 8 with Howe. Well, you could play Cornette in stretches too if he's going to be good offensively. If he's going to be good offensively, you can play him in stretches. Maxi Kleber, even though he just came back, looks like he's shooting well. 48% from the field. What's he shooting from 3? 50% from 3. Yeah, we can make that work. You can definitely make that work. Dante Exum does not need to play. Tim Hardaway, if he's not going to shoot the ball well, does not need to play. Jaden Hardy, he can come give you some energy, but if he's not playing well, you need to take him out of the game. You need Luka to be efficient. Turnover numbers, both of these guys need to try to keep them lower. Gafford and Lively shouldn't really have the ball or controlling the ball that often. Kyrie probably needs to make sure, since this is his, what finals would this be for him? 3 or 4? Because one of those finals he couldn't, or he only played one game. So I think this is his 4th. So, yeah, Kyrie just needs to control the tempo because those guys on the Celtics, with Derek White, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Jrue Holiday, they've been to the finals. And I don't think any of these guys, other than Kyrie, I could be wrong, but I don't think anybody other than Kyrie has been to the finals. Yeah, so he needs to make sure they stay calm because it looks like they're good offensively, but they're not as good as I was thinking. Against man, they are good in just overall in the half court. Looks like they're very good, and Luka is good in the half court. Derek Jones, Gafford, Lively seem to be the guys they need to be playing well. If PJ Washington can play well too, that'll help out a lot. Maxi Kleber, if they can bring him off the bench, that's just an added plus for him. And Josh Green, they need him to play. They need him to play well so they can give guys some blows. Against man, PJ Washington looks like plays way better against man than zone. Makes sense. They don't see zone that often. Josh Green does not, though. Maxi Kleber over here. Against zone, let's see who plays good against zone. Doesn't look like too many of anybody plays good against zone. Okay. Just taking a quick look, just looking at these guys. So they need Luka to be better offensively, but that's similar to Tatum. I would say they're going to have the ball in their hands more. But if Luka's going to be average, they're going to need Kyrie to be very good and not just good. Yeah, because I'm trying to think of the matchups. Jrue's probably going to be on him. If I had to take a guess, Jrue will be on him, and it comes to a matter: do you put Derek White on Luka so Jaylen Brown doesn't get fouls, or do you start Jaylen Brown on Luka and wait for him to get a foul before you switch? Because more than likely, the Mavs are going to run that pick and roll anyway because that's their offense. Defensively, let's go to a game breakdown, then we'll go to a player breakdown. Defensively, they've been very good these playoffs. Different from the Celtics. The Celtics defensively have been good. So that's where the difference in the two. So offensively, the Celtics have been excellent and good defensively, and the Mavs have been good offensively and very good defensively. So, like, according to, if you just do a ratings chart, the Celtics would be a little on top, but just depends because Jason Tatum's been playing very bad offensively. So that could work. That could work into the Mavs' favor. And at least Luka's been average because Luka will have those 11 for 27 games. But if he gets hot, it matters who when you get hot at the right time sometimes also. So defensively, let's see. Transition, they're excellent. Half court, they're good. Out of bounds, in the end, they're good. Last 4 seconds of shot clock, they're below average as well. Not sure why both teams can't guard in the last 4 seconds of shot clock because it happens a good percentage. That's 15% of the time. So I don't know why both teams are bad. Man defense is good, not very good, which would help. Neither team. All right, I know the Celtics don't need to run zone. They probably don't need to run zone that often either, and they don't need to press at all because they've been terrible. Been just god awful at it. Okay. Luka has been very good defensively according to the metrics, which, hey, I got to give it to him. PJ Washington has been below average. If PJ's not scoring, that means he needs to go sit his butt on the bench. Kyrie has been good. Gaffer's been good. Josh Green has been poor. So another player, if he's not playing well, get him on the bench. Derek Lively has been very good. Tim Hardaway doesn't need to play then. Maxi Kleber has been good at everything. Basically looks like they're paying Pritchard right now. The Celtics paying Pritchard. Jaden Hardy has been very good in limited possessions defensively. So if he's going to show energy on defense, you might have to sacrifice some of the offense with him. You just have to see how the game's going. But if Gafford can be good defensively, Lively's going to come in and be very good. They can bring in Kleber, who's been excellent in his short stint in the playoffs. And then you have Luka, which surprisingly has been very good. I'm not sure how that's happened, but he's been very good in these playoffs defensively. So if that can happen, they have a shot. I'll say they have a shot. Transition, they've been excellent. In the half court, Luka's been very good. PJ Washington's going to have to step up because that's not going to work. If you're not going to be, you have to be good offensively and defensively. You can't be average and then below average on defense. Derek Jones, average, but been very good offensively in the playoffs. So if he can keep the offense going, it'll offset his defense. Kyrie's been good. It's surprising because those are the two guys who you would normally attack defensively. But if they're going to be statistically good, then that just helps out because that works more into their favor if they're actually both good on defense. Derek Lively, I expect energy guy, good. Josh Green, if he's not hitting shots again, because you can't shooting 57% against him, you have to bring his butt off the court. There is no way. Okay, let's look at play types offensively. Both teams spot up very good. We know that pick and roll ball handler. Okay, I guess I need to see who's spotting up well. PJ Washington's better spotting up than anybody, it looks like, other than Kyrie. Jaden Hardy does it well. Tim Hardaway, I don't understand what he's doing. Maxi Kleber, that's probably why they haven't been playing him then. Maxi Kleber and Gafford should not be spotting up, and Lively should not be spotting up. Maxi Kleber has been looking good since he got back. So maybe PJ just needs to spot up. Doesn't need to drive to the basket or anything. Luka's been very good in the pick and roll, and that's going to be a major problem then. Because if I remember right, and I'm about to take a look, defensively, the Celtics have been bad in the pick and roll. That could be a major problem. Because Drew has been bad, Derek White's only been average, and I'm not sure why they don't have the true numbers up here right now, but Jaylen Brown's been poor. Jason Tatum's been poor. Peyton Pritchard, who was the basketball savior, has actually been very good. But that's not going to work because that's what Luka does. Kyrie has been average in the pick and roll these playoffs. And I'm, again, looking on the points per possession. I want to keep stressing that so I don't have to hear it when somebody watches this video eventually. So Luka, so that's So if I'm Luka, yeah, we're definitely going to pick and roll against Celtics. If I had to take a guess, what we're going to see, we see a lot of Luka and pick and rolls. So they're going to have to figure out how they're going to play him defensively, because according to this, PJ Washington can spot up. So if they try to double him, that's not going to work, because he's very good spotting up. He's good spotting up. He's very good spotting up. He's good spotting up. There's too many people that's very good to very good that's spotting up, and Maxi Kleber being excellent. Too many people. So that's not. Yeah, that's not going to work. Transition. So Luka's not good in transition. It looks like makes sense, but he's shooting 57% from the field though. Very good as he turned the ball. Yeah, because he turned the ball over at a 26% clip. That's why he's not good in transition. Good lord. Yeah, turnovers is usually why this points per possession. You'll notice it go down a lot. PJ Washington. Yeah, it looks like PJ just needs to. They just need to give Kyrie the ball in transition, and if not, they need to just back it up and go to the pick and roll. Isolation. Who do we expect to be good at that? Luka and Kyrie. The problem is, and is it a problem? Nope. The Celtics actually very good in isolation, except for Jason Tatum, which is not good. Which is not good. Derek White has been excellent. Everybody else hasn't done it enough, but it must be solid. Well, let's look at the points per possession value. Drew's been good at it. 0.778 is good. Actually, probably very good if I take a guess. Kristaps, surprisingly, that's probably going to be excellent. It's probably very good to excellent. But it doesn't happen that much to these guys. So they're putting Al Horford in the isolation, because that's what I would do. Jason Tatum is about to see a lot too. And honestly, Jaylen Brown's going to see a bunch, because 1.125 is borderline below average to poor. So these two are about to see a lot. If I'm the Mavericks, those two are in pick and roll situations a lot. And we would keep them in there. That and the pick and roll, because we know they're not good at it. Yeah, neither one. The problem is neither one of them been good defensively in the playoffs. I'm interested to see how that looks tonight. I'm really interested to see how that looks. But everybody else, there should be nobody having ISO plays other than these two. Luka and Kyrie should be the only one having ISOs. These must be in blowouts or situation where it doesn't matter, because the ball should be in these two in ISO situations every single last time. Pick and roll, man, I'm not really too concerned about that, because that should be Gafford and Lively. Lively's actually been good in the pick and roll. Gafford has not. So maybe they just need to let Gafford cut. Maybe they need to have some other people do pick and roll, because. So according to this, let's just looking at numbers. We can put Derek Lively, if on the Mavs, we can put Derek Lively in the pick and roll. Gafford, not really. Derek Jones, that's who we should put in the pick and roll, because for whatever reason, that's almost 2 points per possession, which is amazing. Same with Josh Green, but it's only 3 possessions. This is 9, so it's not that many, but I would try it out just to see. And then I probably put Kyrie in there just to see as well. Okay, but probably should stay away from that. Cutting to the basket. Okay. Let's look defensively. Yeah, defensively, they've been good these playoffs. Spot up, they're good. In transition, they're excellent. Pick and roll ball handler, they're average. I'm not sure why we don't have numbers, but it looks like Luka's probably the highest if I had to take a guess. And that's who. And I don't understand. That's what I didn't understand about the Minnesota series. They never really put Luka in the pick and roll, because that's exactly what we would do. We would put Luka in the pick and roll, and almost everyone. Kyrie actually has been very good against the pick and roll. Same with Gafford. Josh Green has been poor. Yeah, so we would be putting Luka and Derek Jones in the pick and roll, if we could. Oh, and we put Lively in there too. Oh no, Maxi Kleber. So we have 4 guys we'd be putting in the pick and roll. Yeah, but let me see offensively, because offensively they should be, as far as pick and roll, should be good. Yeah, they are. Everybody except Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown shouldn't do pick and roll. Jaylen Brown needs to do ISOs. Jason Tatum does not need to do ISOs. Jason Tatum, because it looks like this is the only thing Jason Tatum's been good at in the playoffs. So this is where he needs to probably stick with. Um, let's see. Against isolations, the Mavericks, Luka's been good. PJ Washington. So Jaylen Brown needs to bring PJ Washington on the island. But Kyrie has been good defensively these playoffs. I can say that according to these metrics. Same with Derek Jones, Gafford. So we're putting Gafford, PJ Washington on the ISO. Lively's actually been good against ISO, so we can't do that. Josh Green. So we're hunting Josh Green defensively. If we get Josh Green, it's an automatic attack because he's not good defensively. I see. But the thing is, on the opposite side, it looks like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown aren't good defensively, and which is surprising. So I'm interested to see how that works out. Cutting to the defense against cuts, I'm not really too worried about that. They're excellent at it, so that's good. They're probably making sure people just don't cross their face. Pick and roll man, they're average at it. Okay. And shot types. Let's just take a look at shot types real quick. All field goal attempts defensively, they've been good. And I'm going to go offensively here in a second. Defensively, PJ Washington, okay. Kyrie's been good. Luka's been good, very good. Josh Green's been poor. He might not be able to play this series. Tim Hardaway shouldn't play this series unless he gets hot. Kleber has been. Hardy has been good defensively. Derek Jones has. I think Gafford's been good. The runner, but you're not shooting that many runners. It's jump shots, and they're excellent at defending the rim. That is what you need, and that's what you want. Other than Kyrie, but the height thing with Kyrie and Luka makes sense. PJ Washington's good at certain aspects. Defensively, he's been good. Just shooting right now, so you can play PJ. It's just if he gets a shot. So to me, and I'll look offensively real quick on this, but to me, the Mavs have a better shot than I think what people say it is. Let me see what the betting odds are. Betting odds on Mavs versus Celtics. The Celtics have a 68% chance to win game one. I don't know. I really don't know. Where am I at? I don't know. It depends on how they play it. Because if I'm Luka, I'm putting, according to this, if I'm Luka and we're just looking at it defensively, what they're poor at, I'm putting Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown in almost every pick and roll because these two have been terrible defensively in these playoffs. And for that reason, the point guard Peyton Pritchard has not. But those two put on every pick and roll. I'm not sure why they've been bad defensively, but it looks like they've just have not got it done, and the team as a whole has not got it done against the pick and roll, and that's what those two do well. So I was Celtics in 6, but I honestly might go Mavs in 6 according to just looking at this data. They have the better scores and team defense and defensive wise, just on a team aspect, they've been better. Celtics offensively, they might have a game where they can go up by 20, but with the Mavs defensively, they can come back. And in the pick and roll, Jason Tatum, if he works out the pick and roll, his numbers will look a lot better. I will say that. He has to work out the pick and roll because it doesn't look like his ISOs or him just spotting up or anything is working. And it looks like Jaylen Brown needs to stay out in the pick and roll and do everything else. But yeah, so before the series starts, I'm going to go ahead and say I'll go Mavs in 6. And I was going Celtics in 6. I'm going Mavs in 6. Yeah, I'm gonna put them to win. Put it to win in Game 6. Yeah, just according to this, because offensively they're similar, but defensively, I see there's holes with the Celtics that should not be there, especially with some star players. But we'll see. Let's look at Game 1. It's interesting. It's going to be at Boston, so and we just saw they had Boston winning 68% chance to win. I'm interested to see what the Mavs do. I'm interested to see if Luka puts guys in the pick and roll because it doesn't look like the Celtics been doing that well in the playoffs. Yeah, so we would be putting we would be putting everybody in the pick and roll situation. So we'll see how it goes. But this is my finals preview, and we'll see how Game 1 goes, and then we'll comment on that after. Until next time.